Homelessness, it's an issue we've looked at a lot on this program, particularly in Auckland, of course, but it is not just on the rise in our biggest cities. The Mailroom, a Nelson-based men's support and advocacy service, says the problem in Nelson is increasing as fast as it is in Wellington and Auckland. Census data shows the number of homeless in Nelson almost doubled to 400 in the 7 years to 2013. And 5 years on, the problem is likely to be much worse. Our Nelson regional reporter Tracy Neal filed this report.
They say Nelson is a nice place to be homeless in summer, but in winter the temperatures can plunge as low as -3 degrees. Tama knows this. He's camping out with other homeless men waiting for a room in Nelson's boarding hostel, Franklin Village.
We spend about $20 on stuff for the camp, the gas, the water, who gets the water, and we kind of share our food. We have boil-ups.
Tama used to have a job, a house, a family and a car. His story is typical among the men surveyed for the report, says co-researcher Philip Chapman. He has run the Mailroom for 15 years and says he's recently noticed a trend.
Over the last year, the Mailroom found more and more we were getting guys coming in homeless. We saw a real increase about halfway through last year. So that's what we're dealing with. And we've realised that we need to start looking after this group.
The research explored the experiences of 35 homeless men with health, social and correctional services in the Nelson area. Most of the men were Māori or Pacifica. 21 lived rough out in the open, about 7 lived in a night shelter, and the remainder in what's termed basic housing, such as a shed. About half had mental health issues, most had left school without any qualifications, and most had suffered family violence. Nelson Mayor Rachel Rees says the report is a snapshot of New Zealand today.
What we do know, based on census data, is that between 2006 and 2013, Nelson, Auckland and Wellington regions saw the biggest increase in homelessness. And where Nelson sits is very, very poorly understood at a government level.
Patariki Tawhio joined Tama in telling his story at today's launch. He blames no one else for his situation.
How did I end up here like this? Because I chose it. I chose to be here. And I've worked in Nelson here for over 25 years. I've planted trees up in these hills here. I've chucked fish and pork down there.
The survey shows many homeless people suffer prejudice from members of the public. Mr Tawhio says it's distressing.
I can be walking down the street and I'll pick up something, or even out of the bins, and then they treat me like, oh, I'm a bum, I'm a scum, I'm worthless. But I can say my 10 cents worth. I helped build this town.
Philip Chapman says while there are agencies set up to help, there are gaps in how they connect with those in greatest need.
If they didn't present very well and they hadn't had a shower that day and all of those things, they were just found some people would be fantastic to them, others wouldn't. So it wasn't the agencies they ever criticised, it was the people that worked there. Despite
all this, Mr Tawhio says there have been some brighter moments.
There are people that actually looked after me when I was out on the streets. They come up to me and they say, have you got anything to eat? Are you warm? Are you... And I say, oh yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Mayor Rachel Rees hopes the report will be a catalyst for change and says the Nelson Council is committed to working with other agencies to address the problem. A community forum is planned for later in the year to look at immediate practical steps. I wakatu mō te hōtaka o te ata nei, ko Tracy Neal tēnei.